welcome back to the Keller Skills video series. We're here with Miss Terry from Turner and Childs. We're going to talk about throwing and catching. We're going to use the football, but in this case, throwing and catching is universal. You don't need to sport-specific this. The skills are going to be the same, baseball, softball, throwing-wise. Catching, we could be catching any type of ball. It does not matter what sport necessarily, but just catching. Most likely we'll be talking basketball or football, though, with the catching. But here, let's talk about the catch first. When you are catching the ball, you want to catch with your hands. So both of us will sort of demonstrate. We want our hands away from our body. We want our elbows bent. We never want to be straight-armed, but elbows bent with our thumb and pointing fingers, or our index fingers. They're going to form a triangle. When we have that triangle, you don't necessarily want your hands touching. You're going to take your hands and move them apart based on the size of the ball. So if we were catching a giant medicine ball or something, our hands would be further apart. If we're using a smaller ball like the football, they'd be closer together. But now, fingers open, elbows bent, elbows out. I don't want my elbows down because then I'm going to make the old dreaded W. So no W's, always triangles. And then in this case, when we're using the football, we want our football to fit right in our triangle. Okay, the point of the football will go right into the triangle. And once the ball hits inside that triangle, now you're going to take your elbows and squeeze. Your elbows and the forearms are going to actually force together, and that's how you're going to catch the ball. Okay, so if I just do nice, easy tosses, I don't have to do full-on throw because we're not that far apart. We just want that point to go right in. And then I might have to move my hands around. Now, not every throw is going to be perfect. But I want the spiral, I want the point to go right in between my fingers. Okay, now if I were to get a bad pass, and that's going to happen a lot. Pass might be up high. I'm just going to take my target and move my target to where the ball is coming to. I can go anywhere from waist level all the way to as high as I can possibly reach. The only trouble comes in if a ball were to be below my waist. So anything below your waist, instead of the triangle, we're going to take our pinky fingers and put them together. And we still have a little bit of a triangle down here between our pinky fingers and all of our other fingers. And the ball fits right in our fingers. Same thing, it's still rounded. We still have a little bit of a bend in our elbows. But now the difference is anything down low, I'm going to put pinkies together. Or if you were playing a game, anything over your shoulder, I'm going to put my pinkies together. So if I were to just give a toss to Miss Terry that's low, she's going to go start from triangles up to go pinkies together and down. Okay, so anything that's not perfect, I'm going to go pinkies down. Anything that's where I want it to be, I'm going to go hands up. Okay, one more, we'll go low. Okay, and the last thing is, when we're catching the ball, we do not want to be seals. This is the biggest one we see with basketball. We don't want to be showing our triangle, and then the ball comes and we open our hands up and then use flippers. Okay, we're not seals. We're not going to take our hands and try and squeeze on the ball that way. We want the ball to hit our hands, and then we squeeze. Not open up and try and smash the ball. Okay, if we were to transition now to throwing, so now we have to be able to catch in order for the throw to work, but when I do throw, we're going to use the step technique. Okay, so STEP, it's an acronym. We call that S, step towards your target. I'm right-handed, I'm going to step with my left foot. So step to my target. T, I'm going to turn my hips. So in this case, the left side of my body is facing my target. Step with my left foot, then I'm going to turn my hips. Third letter is E. We call that elbow swing. So our elbow is up, and the elbow is going to swing through. And lastly, I'm going to point at my target. STEP, step to my target, turn my hips, keep my elbow high and swing it. point to my target. And then the sport specific for this skill is my hands are on the laces in the back half of the ball. The only thing I cannot do that's different for football compared to baseball is I can't twist my wrist. My wrist has to face the same direction the whole way. Because if I turn my wrist, this is the wrong way, the ball's going to spin like a helicopter. I don't want it to spin like a helicopter because it has a point. I want it to spiral. So my hand is going to face the same way the whole from back to front. But when I make it to the front and I go to point at Miss Terry, I'm going to pull my fingers down on the laces and then point at my target. So S-T-E-P. And if I do it slow, I'm going to get an awkward flight of the ball. If I do it faster, I can get my spiral all in one motion. Okay, if I'm like a quarterback, I might back up, turn sideways, step to my target, and follow all S-T-E-P, coming straight down with my fingers. Okay, and if you ever have the flight like that where the ball's going up, the point is up, you didn't point at your target. Let go of the ball too high. We want to let go all the way in front of our body. When we let go out here and point, now you're going to get your beautiful spiral. Okay, one more time. Okay, so just a recap of our key points here. Use the step technique. Step to your target with your opposite foot. Turn your hips. Keep your elbow high and have elbows swing all the way through. And then point at your target. And the sport specific, since we're talking about football, keep your wrist facing the same direction the whole way. Pull your fingers down on the laces when you go to point at your target. Again, this is football throwing and catching. Thank you for joining us again on the Keller Skills video series. See you again next time.